I'm Bruce Hunt, and I've been here in Gladstone for a bit over 50 years now. But my background really was in Fiji. I was born in Fiji, a little sugar milling town of Lambasa, and all my early childhood schooling was in Fiji. Primary schooling in Lautoka, and then secondary schooling at the Suva Boys Grammar School in Suva. That was a New Zealand system of education, so I matriculated with university entrance and then took up an apprenticeship with CSR in their sugar mills. So for the next 4 years, I was a grubby little apprentice in the sugar mills and then worked in the mills as an engineer for a number of years. My grandparents had gone to Fiji to set up a sugar plantation, worked on that, supplying the mill. My parents were born in Fiji, and then I was born in Fiji. So it was very much part of our lifestyle. And 70 odd years ago, it was an idyllic lifestyle. We had a very free-ranging childhood where we had our own little punt boat. We could fish and swim and do as we wish, roam freely on our bikes, and very easy environment to live in at that stage.
Being born and raised in Fiji, Bruce has had a love for the sea and everything in it. As a child with his grandfather, Bruce developed a love for fishing, which still rings true today, living in Barney Point.
I love it here in Barney Point. We're right on the water. Even as I'm doing this interview, I can hear the waves running on the beach down in front of us. I was down there this morning. The tide was right and I couldn't help myself. I had to go fishing and managed to catch a feed of fish for tonight, so I'm happy with that. But I love the water.
Bruce's career is many things but lackluster.
In 1967, I came over to Brisbane to continue my engineering studies. During my apprenticeship, I'd been doing engineering studies by correspondence, but when I got to Brisbane, I was taking up a Bachelor of Engineering degree at the University of Queensland, and I completed that with honours in 1969, the end of 1969, and came straight to QAL to start work as a maintenance engineer. I worked with QAL then for 28 years and retired, and now enjoy life in Barney Point.
After retiring, the love of travelling led to Bruce and his wife visiting many countries on all the continents around the world. Some experiences that were most memorable include an expedition to Antarctica, where their rubber ducky boat was attacked by a leopard seal, or the times in Africa with 2 major encounters with the wildlife. The first canoeing down the Zambezi River, when a herd of elephants charged across the river right in front of their canoe. The second time a safari, being on the Serengeti with their daughter, when an angry baboon ended up inside the vehicle with them. Bruce's community work displayed his love for the community. He was seen as a local hero, funding local children's dreams and whatever they would like to achieve, from STEM activities to sports-based ones. Bruce says his involvement with Rotary has been a great platform for this activity. Bruce has won many awards for his work, but his 2 major awards are the Gladstone Citizen of the Year Award in 2015 and the Order of Australian Medal in the Queen's Birthday Honours 2020. Bruce has also worked closely with the Gladstone Regional Art Gallery and Museum over the years.
Yes, I've had a long association with the art gallery. We realised back in, I think it was probably about 1996, that there was lots of sport and there was lots of activity, but there wasn't a strong cultural support in terms of the arts. And so we formed the Gladstone Regional Art Gallery and Museum Society and set out to support and provide opportunity in the visual arts. We set up the Priceless Past as one of the exercises where we engaged with state high schools and their students to write the history and record the history of seniors, people who had been in Gladstone more than 30 years and who were over 70 years old. Other programs that we got engaged in were with the youth. We set up, with the late Mr. Cyril Golding, the Golding Showcase, and we feature the art from the senior students from the local high schools. So that's the Gladstone high schools plus high schools in Biloela, Theodore and Monto. And we would feature their art in a established exhibition, properly hung and presented, and gave students the opportunity to see their work professionally displayed. That still continues, and this year was run with Rosedale School, who were the ones who I participated with to do the story for Priceless Past.
Bruce has lived a life that many would envy through all the adventures he and his wife Robin have been on, to the family connections he has, being able to spend much of his time with his family and the people he loves.
One of the things that gives me a lot of pleasure is helping people get things done. If people have an idea and want to do something, if I can pitch in and help them, that gives me a great deal of satisfaction. Turning ideas into reality, dealing with people respectfully and helpfully is what I get fired up on. So that's me.